what's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, dude, give me a beer.
We're fucking out of here.
What do you mean?
Greetings, beer nerds. Welcome back to another episode of the Final Gravity podcast about craft beer, life, friends, and existing on planet Earth. As always, your host here, Cousin T, in the house, under the weather this week, but I'm here.
What's up, guys? The Viking Peach is back, as always, after another day on the mountain. And, so time to drink beer.
And always in the third chair, CJ Mueller, the Groovy Bear, soon to be on the road again, just looking for a home. But here tonight to talk to you guys about all things beer and all things happy living.
Yeah.
So we've got two of us are kind of technically homeless. One of us is unemployed. One of us is like half unemployed, just depending on the week because of the state of Oregon. And one of us is reeling from his second COVID shot. We're killing it this week, guys.
I feel like a fucking train wreck today. Oh my God.
Life goes on. Yeah. What is up with that? Second COVID shot and you're just down.
I got steamrolled last night at like 3 a.m, dude. It was not fun.
Damn.
It was not fun.
I was pretty blessed. I got through my second COVID shot all right. Like super sore and achy and really fatigued, but no fever. I still skied that day and then went to a meeting at work that night.
Did you Pfizer or Moderna?
I got Pfizer.
Okay. See, I had Moderna, and I've heard much worse things about the second round of Moderna, which I now
my brother was Pfizer too, and he went home with 102-degree fever the day after his second shot.
Hey, it's also, fucking it affects people differently, but yeah, man, I got straight fucking steamrolled last night.
Damn. Here's the thing, it's the second shots that are getting people. It's not the first. I'm not anti-vaccine. I'm anti-double vaccine.
There we go.
It's a sarcastic joke. It's not going to land, but I'm willing to make it.
The fun thing is I don't actually know if I had a reaction to my first shot or not.
I told Cuzzy T I didn't. I
had a very mild reaction to my first one.
I thought I had a reaction, but now I don't know if it was actually a reaction.
I had a very mild reaction to the first one.
I thought I had gnarly seasonal allergies the whole week before it. Got my vaccine, felt like shit for 2 days. And then 2 days later, I tested positive for COVID. So I don't know how much of it was allergies, COVID, or the vaccine.
Yeah, you got hit with some sort of weird trifecta of things that didn't make sense. So who knows what it was for you?
Couldn't tell you if I had a reaction on that.
Clutch your pearls, beer nerds. I got it. In order to rid us of this weird lactose trend that's going through IPAs, now you have to get 2 shots 28 days apart of a full syringe full of lactose-laden IPA each time.
Oh.
And then you tell me if you still like that horse shit. That's
no, I don't want to do that.
Vaccinate people against the milkshake IPA. We're going to do it right
Perfect.
now.
So,
thank you for bringing us onto the beer topic, CJ. Thanks,
Thomas. What
are
you drinking on to recover from your vaccine today?
A lot of water.
I was going to say it should be water.
But what beer's in your glass, anyways?
I try to go with a something light and easy drinking. And it was cheap at the store, so I grabbed an imperial pint of Stella.
Fantastic choice.
Well played.
Ooh, green bottle Stella too, and it does taste better.
Yeah,
it does taste better.
This is a 19.2 fluid ounce, which is an imperial pint.
Hey, perfect. Thomas is just drinking the champagne of beers to celebrate his second vaccine.
I'm just doing it.
It's probably a bad idea that I'm drinking beer right now.
Hey, you know what? Beer has water value. Water does not have beer value.
Yeah, the same thing with food.
That's really smart. I can't refute that. I can't refute that at all.
I mean, most of the time I do like drinking my water after it's been filtered through a brewery.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I do have a bottle of high pH Essentia water on hand as well. Although last night on a video chat with some friends, they thought I was drinking vodka straight from the bottle. I was like, listen, I know you guys think I'm an alcoholic, but I don't shoot vodka straight from the bottle. Like, you all know that I'm just a beer drinker and the occasional whiskey drinker. I
drink anything that gets put in my hand. It's kind of a problem. No suds left behind. Doesn't matter what the suds are.
If your vodka has suds in it, there's an issue.
It's a figure of speech.
Your
CJ, what
body's
are you sipping on tonight?
This
man?
body's a temple, and I treat it as such, bro.
Yeah. What are you drinking, CJ?
I'm working my way through the newly minted Deschutes mix pack that I saw at the Safeway right now, which just it includes some standards.
Yeah.
I'm drinking the little squeezy. They're hazy pale ale right now. I've got some fresh squeezed. I've got a new West Coast IPA in the pack that was quite delightful.
Which one's that?
And then it was called what was it called? It's called Squeezy Days, I think, or something like that. West Coast IPA.
I'll have to go check that one out.
It's in their fresh squeezed lineup, but they're clearly marketing it as a West Coast IPA.
Gotcha.
Worth it. And then there's a little black beet porter in the case. So right now, I'm just sipping a little juicy pale ale from Deschutes.
Nice.
And peaches.
Who cares? It tastes good.
Yeah.
Peaches, what are you drinking?
Here's good beer. Well, I got a little Left Coast Brewing IPA out of Eureka, California. Yeah, just so the listeners out there know, with Thomas getting his second shot and feeling like shit when he woke up this morning, we weren't totally sure we were doing this today. And then by the time it was on, I was kind of home. But my dad's been buying these a lot because they're always on sale. And so they're actually really cheap, but it's actually a pretty solid fucking IPA. So I've been drinking a lot of these lately just because they're what's in the fridge. And
nice.
Yeah, I can't complain. It's, pretty much your standard IPA, relatively smooth. It's definitely not overly bitter. 6.5%, tasty, refreshing. Drinks like a session ale, balance it. Yeah, actually, that's pretty accurate description of it. And sorry, Lost Coast, not Left Coast. I don't know why I said Left Coast.
I was
like
thinking that was the right one, and I was like, shit, I might have to reach for my Google.
I didn't want to say anything because I know I'm not at 100% right now. So I was like, he could have said Left Coast. You guys were both right.
I'm just an idiot.
He could have said Central Coast. I have no idea. It could have been right.
That makes even more sense. Lost Coast Brewing, exceptional from everything I've ever had from them. So I don't doubt that IPA does not meet that mark.
Also, I always just appreciate when a brewery doesn't come up with super crazy fancy names. Like, for their mainstay beers, right? Like, obviously, you got to name certain beers so people know what they're ordering. And if you have 10 different IPAs on taps, they need to have names. But, when a brewery just like, this is their flagship IPA, so they just call it IPA. Fuck, I love that. Something about it just makes me happy. What are you drinking? I'm drinking their IPA. Yep, that fucking makes sense.
What's it called? IPA.
IPA.
It's a fucking IPA.
Yeah.
But in the spirit of that, since CJ brought it up, tonight we're going to be talking about mix packs. Since last week we talked about what styles we want to see make a resurgence here in America, and how most breweries, usually seasonally, if not more often than that, put out some sort of mix pack. A lot of these mix packs are pretty generic as far as what they
put in. A lot of them are kind of like IPA, maybe a lighter beer and like a dark beer,
right?
Or like a seasonal beer. Yeah.
We should absolutely at the end of this episode, let's not forget, like, we should put together our most perfect that we can think of 4-pack mix pack. But anyway, like, if we're going to do it right, we should put ourselves on the spot here too. But if we're talking about the big name brands, right, which I think we are, I'll just go out on a limb and say I always see those mix packs as a cheaper way to get rid of beer that's kind of hitting its packing date. Mm-hmm. Right, so it's like we'll just throw it together in a 12-pack and we'll knock $3 off of it.
So I'm curious, what's the packing date on the beer you're drinking right now?
Okay, let's get into it. Let's do it.
Because that's a mix pack, right?
The lighting is so bad. Oh, actually, well, that's not bad. March 22nd. So we're a little we're about 6 weeks on this beer. That's not actually terrible. I've had plenty of Deschutes beers here that were rocking 3 months out here in Montana.
I don't know how to read the packing date on here.
Well, what's the number? Well, it might be in European, bro. It might be the metric.
It says
it might be in European.
It says 13/10/21.
13/10.
So the 13th day of the 10th month.
13th day of the 10th month. They write it backwards.
Oh, okay.
They write it in European.
But 21. So
that's 2021.
Oh, wait. 10.
So
10, 13, they bottled it in October of 2021.
So this beer is from the future?
No, it's good till then. It's good till then.
It's good till then.
Oh, that's their
They
good till
also
day.
they also do it backwards in that respect. There's a way of, when they put that when they pack it like that, they're saying essentially that's the best buy or that's the good buy date.
Okay, so this has got another 5 months to sit.
Yeah, and being Stella, it's not going to get any worse than a fucking steel can.
No.
There isn't a date on this
aluminum
can.
I wonder.
There isn't a
not a
date
date.
on this can.
Not anywhere.
I haven't found one.
Well, there you go. It's, you know, we got federal regulations for everything, but we can't figure out when the fuck our beer was brewed.
Average analysis, 147
Well, what do you know?
calories. 11
Yeah, so CJ,
carbs.
the mix pack that you have though, it's what, 3 IPAs and a porter?
It's 2 IPAs, a hazy pale, and a porter. Yep.
So 3 IPAs and a porter,
3
basically.
IPAs and a porter. Yeah.
Jesus.
That's fair.
But like we said,
fair.
yeah, and if I would have read the side of the can, it says freshest before, see base of can.
Okay, so yes.
Yeah.
Again, I'm pretty sure that Europe, its labeling is again, it's the day of the month, the year, and that is the date when it's
Yeah.
you know.
So you're good
best
until
buy.
October 13th
Yeah.
of 21.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas in America,
So if you want to just
it's
sip
the
half of that
actual
and put it in your
packing
fridge for a few months.
Now that the can's been open, I feel like if I did that, it might not make it.
date. Well,
Yeah.
it's gonna be real flat and real weird.
Yeah,
It still should be drinkable.
that's for damn sure. What I find, I guess I was wrong last week. Stella is not Italian; it's Belgian.
Yep.
Did you say Stella was Italian last week?
I might have. I feel like I said it in accidental. Blah.
I guess
Fair
no
enough.
one caught you on that. Yeah, no,
I didn't notice.
Stella's Belgian.
Yeah, it just Stella Artois sounds. I don't know why that sounds Italian to me. I'm also
Fair
like.
enough.
You don't speak European, bro.
No,
It's okay.
I don't speak European. I'm not very worldly. I have no culture. I'm an American.
First time my buddy Todd ever saw Lagunitas on tap, he didn't know how to pronounce it, so instead he just went like as far off base as he could just to make it sound like a joke to the bartender, so the bartender would tell him how to say it. So instead of Lagunitas, he went with, "Could I get Le Junetois, please?"
Well, it's like if you listen to the
Which to me is now the only proper way to refer to Le
Lagunitas,
Junetois Brewing.
Lagunitas. The Stella commercials are actually quite funny, though, especially the ones with Jeff Bridges as Lebowski. He's like, "Hey, why don't you have me one of those Stella Artois?"
Art.
So
I haven't seen any of those.
They're
what's
pretty
the
funny.
best mix pack you guys ever bought? I'm referring to the standard mix pack of 4 types of beer, 3 cans or bottles of each kind. But I mean, like you can tell me if you got a 16 whatever.
Goose Island puts together a pretty good mix pack.
Is that the one with that rosé ale in it though? That
Is-
ale can go to hell and die. I'm sorry. That ale can go.
There
to
are
hell and die.
definitely a couple of mix packs that I grabbed that I'm just like, why would you put this in here? But again, referring back to the statement that you made earlier, CJ, just about like, well, no one's buying this, so I guess we'll just throw it in a mix pack, try and get rid of it.
That is, if you're telling me that's not happening, I'm calling bullshit. As someone who's worked packaging and non-packaging breweries, he's like, when you put out a mix pack and we haven't seen one for a long time, it's because you're not moving a certain style. Of
Yeah,
beer.
some sort of strawberry blonde ale that just
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I've never even seen these guys talk about or like seen
Right.
this on like a beer
No,
list.
you package it together with like a couple of your mainstays that you can give away for cheap, and then you put it with like one of the beers that you're just trying to get rid of.
No, Odell was another good one, but they put in also some sort of like weird one-off beer that nobody. It's
I was going to say though, last season 2 of the podcast, when I showed up with that mix pack from Oscar Blues.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. We couldn't find the same one as you in here.
No, you
Yep.
couldn't. But
That was a
man,
good
I
mix
fucking
pack.
every beer in that was
That
fucking
was-
delicious.
that was a good mix pack on that part. But yeah, I believe that Goose Island's got a pretty good mix pack because I think they throw did they have a Pilsner or a lager that they put in there, their regular Goose Island IPA, a pale, and that other weird beer that you said that can go to hell. I'm actually going to look this up real quick and see if I can
The
find
funny
it.
thing to me though is like your mix pack that you have right now, CJ. it literally, like, we've talked about this before and we've given breweries shit about this before. But it really, your mix pack mirrors what most breweries make, right? Like, how often do you walk into a brewery and it's IPA, porter, and maybe a light beer? Right. It's all just variations of IPAs or like pale ales that are basically IPAs at the point that we're making them.
Absolutely. Now. And as we talked about before too, like maybe this is why, and not only why, but also an indicator of how certain styles are dying. Is like, I don't think
stagnant.
I don't think that fresh squeezed wasn't selling, so they put it in a mix pack. I don't think that little squeezy wasn't selling, so they picked in a mix pack. I don't think their West Coast IPA wasn't selling. I think Black Butte Porter wasn't selling, and so now they made a mix pack where you get 9 different kinds of hoppy beer, and then their porter. And the bummer is
they probably had a bunch of leftover porter from the winter, and they know it won't move in the summer.
I'm sure. So and again, but that's also, I mean, like that's the commercial aspect of it, but it's also one of those things of like, man, Black Butte Porter is a Godfather beer. Like, it's kind of almost a disservice to be getting it jammed into there in there with that lineup. But
trying to make room for the next rollout of it.
So
the Goose Island, the Goose Island that I have found, housekeeping, is their Next Coast IPA.
That's not me.
No, that's me.
That's
okay.
It sounds like a fax machine. So you've got Next Coast IPA, their regular IPA, Paper Umbrella, and their Dank Detector, which is another IPA. So 3 IPAs, and I don't know what Paper Umbrella is off the top of my head. I will have to look that up.
Huh. Well, again, it's a 3 IPA mix pack, and they're trying to sell something else.
Of course, there's also, I think this is the one that I find more often than not, and it's the Next Coast IPA, the SPF, the regular IPA, Natural Villain, and the 312. That's the pack that I see most often.
Interesting. All right. So if each of us had the opportunity to construct just by style alone, the 3 of a kind, 4 different type mix pack, what would it be? What style? Doesn't have to be a brewery. Doesn't have to be a specific what style.
I feel like just in general, like mix pack means like mix it up, not 3 IPAs and a porter.
Yeah, sure. Well, the way I view a mix pack is kind of like it's like the taster flight of not being at the brewery, right? Like you could taste more than one of their beer, or you've got friends who like different varieties of beer. So for me, I'd probably go with like gotta have a Pilsner in there, in my opinion. Gotta have that light beer basis covered, show that you can do that light beer. And if you're buying it for a group of people, you can have a light beer for someone.
Pilsner or lager of some sort, something light, crisp, easy drinking.
I think a porter or a stout. Again, because for me, I view a mixed pack as trying to cover your bases and show that you have these beers, right? I do think you need to have your IPA in there, like whatever your best IPA or your flagship IPA, throw the IPA in that bitch. And then I think a seasonal deserves that last spot, right? Like maybe your seasonal is another IPA, so you might end up with 2 IPAs. But if you're making a seasonal porter, fuck it, have 2 porters in your thing. Or if you're making like a really cool one-off saison, throw a fucking saison in your mix pack.
Yeah, like absolutely.
For me, I think it would probably I would probably start the same way: Pilsner or lager, something light, easy drinking. Also a dark beer of some sort because you're trying to span the spectrum. So porter, stout, maybe a brown ale, depending on what what kind of beers you make,
where your expertise lies.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely an IPA or a pale, and a saison or a sour, even like throw a sour in the mix.
Yeah.
Something,
actually,
something that's going to kind of if you get a mix pack like that, though, your palate's going to be all over the fucking place and you're not going to be able to really enjoy each of them. But if you drank them, if you went Pilsner lager, sour, IPA, browned dark beer, you would probably get a good, solid come across for the flavor profiles from all of those beers without destroying your palate.
Right.
Well, and it would give you a really good idea of what that brewery is capable of. Maybe you just drink the IPA one night, and then the next night you drink their saison or the sour or whatever.
Right.
And the next night you drink the and so you can really like spend a couple nights and learn about the brewery as a whole. Yeah, I don't know, CJ, what would you make your mix pack?
It's funny because I'm torn between, the fantasy mix pack, right, and the practical mix pack. Because I would immediately go into, T is as Josh was given his. I was thinking like, of course I'd want some sort of a sour in there, but I was like, well, let's be realistic. Packaging those kind of beers is a different ball game. When you talk about so when I think about like practically what I want, the funny things are that it does really largely line up with you guys. Where first of all, some sort of a craft lager, not a light lager, not a shitty lager. It could be a Pilsner, it could be a Helles, it could be
throw a dark lager into that.
But and I was even going to say like some sort of a dark beer, and it doesn't have to be a porter or a stout. It could be a Schwartz beer. I'd be thrilled about that.
Yeah,
but show me something that I haven't seen.
A Maibach lager.
Yeah, something that's to the amber and dark phase that's fun and approachable. Could be heavy, could be light. Again, I think the biggest one we all convene on is something true continental lager-esque should be in there if you're throwing out the mix pack title. Obviously, then, yes, I need a hoppy row. Now, I prefer a nice hoppy pale ale, but if it's a good IPA, fuck yeah. And then I would say that if your brewery has the opportunity, I would say saison. Not everybody's making those, but something more in that, again, that very dry, crisp, refreshing, or unique style of ale to your brewery. I can totally get why people don't package sours. It's scary just to brew them in the first place. But
places like, 10 Barrel could throw a sour in a mix pack.
Diversify, right? Just diversify the pack. Like, show me a little bit of everything, spread the playing field, if you will. And it does feel like they're getting a little heavy. Not that I'm not enjoying it, but it's getting a little heavy on the hop side of things here. It's like, again, our
who has a really good mix pack?
Into that. Who's that?
Session.
I could see that.
Session makes a really. I think they actually have. But I think they have two session mix packs actually. The one that first jumped into my mind, they have one that's what is it? They have the session ale, just their standard session ale. Then they have the Mexican beer that they make, like the session Mexican, the low calorie one, like the low carb, low cal one, and then I think the other one's like their Pilsner or something in that pack. So it's all light beers, but it's a good variety of different kinds of light beers. So it's a great mix pack for like on a summer day. And yeah, you can cover. It shows a good variety. It's not like 4 or 5, like 4 of the same beer ish. It's like a variety of different beers, but they're all in that lighter category. And I do think they have their other mix pack, their original mix pack. I think it's like the session ale, their Pilsner, an IPA, and one other beer. But they do a good job of not repeating the same style.
That is again. That's I think when we grab a mix pack, it's always kind of I don't want to say a bummer. All the beers I've tried tonight are great beers, but when they all kind of fit in the same vein, where it's like when I grab a mix pack, the idea would be.
Yeah, is it really?
They should all be slightly different. Should be maybe
very
different.
Looking for
right?
Is it really a variety pack?
But
if it's 3 IPAs or 3 super hoppy beers,
yeah. Is it really a variety pack at that point?
Advertise that. I've seen people advertise like this is our IPA mix pack, so you could try all of our IPAs, and if that's what you're looking for, that's what you get. But when they're just like, look
that's
at our
another
variety
good point.
pack and try
Why
our
not
beers.
have like a series of mix packs where you have like your IPA variety pack, your overall variety pack, your dark beer variety pack? Like there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Okay, so the other thought I had when we got into the talk about mix packs and we started kind of ragging on where they've gone is I think it'd be kind of fun to like it doesn't have to be of all time. It just has to be right now. If you both of you and all three of us, if you could create a 4-pack, doesn't matter the packaging, doesn't have to be in 12-ounce cans, it could be in a 750 bottle. But if you could just create a 4-pack of beer right now, a mix pack. And again, no one's looking to outdo anybody here. It's just like what that you like.
Yeah.
if you could create a 4-pack right now, what would it be? And I'll let either one of you guys, when you're ready, jump on that.
I know for sure I'd start the 2 beers that I know for sure I'd put in there. Fumes Pilsner.
Good call.
That's had I known for sure that we were doing the episode tonight, that's what I was planning on picking up anyways. I'd do Freem's Pilsner. I'd throw in the extra special bitter that I was drinking last week from Porter Brewing Company. That ESB is just amazing, and I love that classic style on it. I'd probably throw in. See, I don't think I put an IPA in my personal 4-pack because I'm not actually a huge IPA drinker for the most part. It's not really my go-to beer. But I'd probably put in Bridge 99 Brewing Company used to make one called their Pulaski, and it was a session ale. They don't make it anymore, but that was just a nice, light, easy drinking session ale, but it had a good hoppy flavor to it. So I really enjoyed that one to get more onto that hoppy realm of things. And then, God, for the 4th beer, I'd probably go with like. See, I think I'd just keep it simple. I'd probably go with like Rogue Brewing's Dead Guy Ale, right? Because it doesn't have those hop flavors as much. It's kind of a sweeter beer in some ways, but it kind of rounds out. Because I mean,
I'll be right back, boys.
My general beer taste is that kind of lighter, easier drinking beers anyways. That's kind of what I prefer. I like the stuff that I can session. And right now that it's hot out, it's probably keeping my mind on those lighter beers, and I'm not thinking about dark beers as much. I bet if you asked me in December, it'd be a totally different fucking variety, right?
No, that's the thing. It's like this is not final. This is just like right now.
Oh yeah.
Right now,
like those would be the 4 beers that if I just had those 4 beers in my fridge, I'd be a pretty fucking happy dude.
I will since Cuzzy's away, I will jump in and say that I would absolutely put Freem's Pilsner on my list as well. It's what I want, and a modern American Pilsner, and I'm pretty sure it comes in a 500 ml, so it's a little extra. It's fucking
even
awesome.
Better.
I want what do I want right now? I want an IPA, but I want it from Hill Farmstead. I want a Hill Farmstead IPA in my pack. It could be anyone. They do great stuff either way around. I want Wayfinder's Hellas.
Damn it!
Ooh.
Really badly. I want Wayfinder's Hellas.
You took one. Well,
I'm sorry. Well, to be fair,
wait. Are you talking about Wayfinder's Hell Lager beer or their Hellas?
They're Hellas. They're true Hellas.
Okay.
Yes.
Then not so much. Damn it.
It's okay.
Well, now we know what Thomas is going to say.
I was looking through my previously drank beers.
It could be anything from that brewery in the lager category, but that's what I really want.
Honestly.
And then I really want Multnomah County Stout, just because I'm curious about it, from Culmination Brewing, a brewery I used to work for. We actually got a cease and desist on Multnomah County Stout because we pissed off Goose Island with their Bourbon County Stout, so we got a cease and desist on our labels. But I want a well done craft multi-barrel blended very big imperial stout, just for like the end of my if I know it's getting warm, but I got 2 lagers in there. Man, I only gave us 4 options. It makes me bummed that I didn't pick any farmhouse beers really in there, but I just want right now, before summer hits, like the biggest of big and most imposing of imposing bourbon barrel aged stouts, and I think that would be one of them. So that's what I got. 2 lagers, a classy IPA, and a stout, an imperial barrel aged stout.
That's the one you finish the night with. That's the nightcap.
That's your nightcap. That's your nightcap.
Over. I might even not make it through it. You know what I mean? It's a 22 bomber. I know it, and I'm just not going to make it. But
for me, it's Wayfinder's Hell Lager beer. I am of course going to throw in my regular standard Sierra Nevada because I'm going to want a nice mildly
I almost
hoppy
threw
pale.
Corona into mine at one point there.
Right?
You guys, this is not that. No, come on. Is that really your wish list?
Well, dude, it's a nice mildly hoppy pale ale.
I love Corona.
But you can get it anytime.
That's all right. All right.
Notice I didn't throw Corona into mine.
I
All
noticed.
right.
I love Corona.
No one's knocking Sierra Pale Ale here. But really? You can get it.
All right.
I'm talking the thing you can't get all the time too.
All right, that's
You
fair. Yeah, definitely the Wayfinder Hell Lager beer. Honestly, the ESB from Backslope, because that's not a thing that comes around very often. Unfortunately, that's not a packaged beer that you can find pretty much anywhere unless you put it in a growler from the brewery.
That's unexpected. Wait, when you say ESB, which one are you referring to? I don't think we have an ESB on right now.
No, you don't. The one that you just took off not 2 months ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I forget the name of it off the top of my head. It was a toss up between that ESB and the Mindless Philosopher because both of those beers are good. But there is I would like.
Oh, you're thinking of the BDG. You're thinking of the Bearded Garden.
Is it no?
We didn't have an extra special bitter on.
Did you not?
Nope.
I do remember you guys talking about a Bearded Guard a while back, though.
Well, your Bearded Guard was good. I know you love your Belgian table beers. I thought you had an ESB on that I thought just came off recently.
We've joked about it. We got a Scotch ale on right now, but we've joked about having an ESB, but we've just never put our work into the English ales as much.
Okay, then we'll take that off the list.
We're just destroying Thomas's list.
Jesus.
I'm glad you think that if we were to brew an ESB, it'd be that damn good. I really appreciate that.
Some sort of tradition. I haven't found one that I can remember the name of off the top of my head, but definitely a true to form Hefeweizen.
Ooh.
Like a true to form Hefeweizen,
Vine Stefano or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Also, probably. What have I had recently? I mean, I'll go to my bottle collection and dig. Pliny the Elder is on that list because I can't get that here.
If you're going to pick in that double IPA, you can't get very many places. There you go.
Yep, Pliny the Elder, or any of the Pliny series, really, with Pliny the younger, Pliny they have like 3 or 4 of them now. But Pliny the Elder is definitely up on my list. So the Wayfinder Hell Lager beer, Pliny the Elder, the Hefeweizen, and why can't I remember the name of that Kolsch that I had not long ago? I guarantee I have
because you're like halfway fevered up.
But you can say a Kolsch, a quality Kolsch,
a quality
Kolsch.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good list.
Or I mean, and if I couldn't find a Kolsch, some sort of variation of it, like amber lager with Kolsch yeast or something like that, somewhere in that weird realm.
We should have an episode where we ask our fans, however many thousands of them there are, to submit their own 4-packs, right? They're and it could be just as simple as needs to be a good Kolsch, or it could be as specific as needs to be Jester King's Petite Prince or whatever.
Right.
But then we should make it full well known that it's hey, we're either going to applaud your 4-pack or we're going to rip it apart.
We're going to judge the shit out of you.
Just like they did with me just now, because I said something about wanting to put Sierra Nevada in it. We're going
to put you completely on blast. If our
Jesus Christ.
Don't agree with you.
That sounds like a great time.
I will put something out into the Discord. And for anyone, honestly,
just throw it up on Instagram too or something.
Put your head on the guillotine.
I mean, there it is. If you're listening to this episode and you want to submit your fantasy 4-pack to us, you
Let
can
us know. What is your
message
fantasy
us
4-pack?
Message us on Instagram, or click the link in our Instagram profile and jump on the Discord. I will create a channel just for fantasy 4-packs. And we will go through them.
We're gonna catch those early dudes though who go on and look at the 100 best beers in America and like pick numbers 2, 5, 6, and 8.
Yeah.
I will fucking catch you. I just want
Yeah.
to be aware.
You will get caught and you will get hung out to dry.
And keep in mind, you could go like vague styles, or if there's very specific beers that you have in mind, like the more specific you can get, the more fun it is for us to,
pick
dissect
out shit you like. Pick out shit you like.
Speaking of which,
hilarious.
also, if you are listening to this, go to our Instagram page, click on the Discord, join the community, talk beer with us in between episodes.
Occasionally I'll respond when I'm on the chairlift.
I do my best to respond to everybody. I am in a couple of Discord chats, and I will be going back to work in a couple of weeks, so I will not be as on as frequently as I used to be or am currently am, but we will definitely
there as much as we can be.
Yeah, we're definitely there as much as we can be, and we'll get CJ to join us. Don't worry.
Thomas and Josh will tell me when and where I need to be places, and I will either confirm or deny.
Or leave it vaguely up in the air.
Dick.
Or I'll just be like, I'll see you. I'll see you.
We'll see. Maybe.
Be around.
I was going to say earlier, after we just threw out there that our pretentious asses are going to critique other people's 4-packs, something that I do really appreciate that I think you guys are going to fucking criticize the hell out of me for, seltzer companies or companies making seltzers have actually done a really good job with making variety packs. Just in terms of because I've spent a lot of my winter up on the mountain. It's nice to have something light and easy to drink that doesn't sit there bloating me up while I'm skiing and stuff. So I've been
and give you heartburn.
Doesn't give me heartburn, all that shit. Yeah. So I've been drinking a lot of seltzers all winter long, and especially in the springtime now that it's hot and sunny out. But because I'm me and I care about actually tasting things and trying different things out, I've basically gone through every fucking pack of seltzers that Safeway has to find the ones that I like the best. And although there's a lot of companies that make really shitty seltzers, even the ones that are making horrible seltzers, they do a really good job of mixing up the flavors. And you've got your standard ones like White Claw that has the lime, the black cherry, the
mango, watermelon, lemon, lime.
They have it's still a good spread of flavors for what it is. Obviously it's not going to be the same differences as an IPA versus a Pilsner, but they do a good job of making a flavor variety. And then there's one out in Kona Brewing Company makes one that's all tropical island flavors. You passion orange guava, fruit punch, key lime, star fruit, and shit like that. And so, that's one thing that I think seltzers have been doing a lot better than a lot of breweries lately is making varieties in their variety pack.
I'm going to agree with. As a brewer, I'm going to agree with you. I think that their model suits a variety pack a lot better.
That's true too.
It's also something
because they are all just seltzers. It's not
exactly. I'm not going to claim that I know how everybody's making their shit. I suspect I know, right? But it's not very hard for White Claw to make lemon, blackberry, mango, lime. They make the same base, they split it off and they flavor it. Whereas the obvious challenge there is making an IPA and making a Pilsner. As we both know, incredibly different processes, right? Is the general stages the same? Sure, you could argue that, but
but the concept of a brewery that has multiple. Yeah.
I was just saying, from a
CJ, I'm going to get you some sort of suspension for your table because that wobbliness is killing me, dude.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I haven't even touched the table. I don't even know what's going on. My hands are up here.
Where are your feet?
Up there and it's still wobbling.
It's what you get for $1,500 in Whitefish right now.
But where are your feet? Are your feet on the base of the table?
I think it's the water in the walls of my apartment. Honestly,
oh, Jesus
structural
Christ.
integrity that we're losing right here.
Oh my God. All right. Well, on that note, I think we're going to wrap this up because
CJ was still in the middle of saying something there real quick.
Well, I'll let you finish.
I was agreeing with Josh. I think that seltzer companies are crushing the mix pack market, but I think that's because we're getting what we want out of them for the mix pack market, which is a clear variety. The funny thing is for their product, all they got to do is add a different set of droppers to their clear variety.
It's easier to do a clear variety, but you look at Deschutes, they have a huge variety of different beers,
Huge
but the
catalog,
mix pack
right?
that you got
But-
is like 3 fucking IPAs, right?
Well, and again, it's also things like they have to decide because they've made so much and they packaged so much. Like what they got to figure out what goes out. So,
but they have the access to a better variety that they could do in a variety pack, but they didn't.
well, gentlemen, we made a good golden turd out of something that was nothing. It was nice to talk about the business from a mixed pack standpoint.
Yeah.
And also think about some beers we'd like to see or talk about. And I hope our listeners like send us what they want to see in their.
I hope that anyone listening to this does submit their fantasy 4-pack to us at some point or another. I'm out of it now. Like.
It's okay.
I'm fading.
He got microchipped today, so
he got his
I got my second dose of the programming for the microchip and the 5G implant.
Here's what I'll say is for what it's worth, we have the ability that if enough of our, and I'm not going to say what this number is, but if enough of our people give us a fantasy 4-pack, then I think we could easily put together our own limited fantasy 4-pack episode right now. And that what I'll say is that I'll go to Safeway right now. I'll get one of the mixed cart carry-ons. So I'll get 4 beers.
We don't have those over here.
And I'll do it blind, dude. I'll do it fucking blind. But Josh, you can go to you can go to a bottle.
I can go to the liquor
shop
store and pick up bombers and shit.
Yeah, exactly. I'll probably end up going to Bricks, by the way. Shout out Bricks and Kalispell.
Well, shit, actually, if we get 3 people to send us their mix packs, like the first 3 people that send us their mix packs, we could try to recreate those. Each one of us gets a mix pack and try to recreate a customer a listener's mix pack.
I'll tell you what we can certainly do is probably recreate it to style. So if you send
a listener inspired mix pack,
if you send us a mix pack, and we certainly can't get like X person saison, we'll get a saison. But we could recreate the mix pack for each one of us. We could take one of our listeners, we'll recreate their mix pack, and we'll do our best.
If you're feeling froggy, just mail us your mix pack. We'll drink it.
We will drink it.
Yeah.
If you're in Oregon, if you want to send it to us, we'll drink it, but we will do our best to try and recreate it. I'm fading fast here, fellas, so we should probably cap this up.
Let's wrap this one up.
Thank you for everyone who's tuned in so far. If you're looking for the podcast, find us on Instagram at final.gravity.podcast. If you want to support this podcast, go to patreon.com/finalgravitypod. Go over to our Instagram page also and click on the link for Discord. Join the Discord group. And you can find me on Instagram at cousin_T. Josh? Give him the rundown.
I'm bachelor skiing every single fucking day.
If you really want to find Josh, just go hang out.
If you really want to find me, I'm on the mountain every day. You can find me at Josh Reports for a daily dose of Stoke with On the Snow updates, soon to be On the Stoke updates. You can find me at Project Enjoy Every Day if you're interested in hyped out clothing that supports environmental conservation as well. You can find me at the Viking Peaches just for my more personal one, and any of my photography if you're into beautiful photos of fun shit.
CJ, I think we're just going to tell people to go follow Backslope Brewing.
If the federal government can't find me, you guys can't do it either.
Just look for the house that's leaking.
That's a super good point. Just look for the house that has water spewing out the outside wall while he's taking a shower.
When that gets used in court later, you guys will have to be subpoenaed too. I just want to.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Also, I have to come to life that herd. I see the long game here.
And once again,
come by the brewery and come see me if you want to see me. I'm not a mean guy. Just make an appointment or something. I don't know.
You'll see his face on the at Backslope Brewing Instagram every once in a while, but that's the only place you can find him. And once again, shout out to the Fuck Off and Dies for allowing us to use their tracks.
Thank you.
Fuck Off and Die, everybody.
Yep. Good party punk music if you're into that type of thing. We'll catch you guys. Next week is our week off. I will be in California, and then we will be back to it the following week. So, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad.
But
at
you'll
me.
be so close to me.
I know. I'll be in Southern California, but I'll be close.
Okay, so you'll be like the same distance from me as you
I'll
are.
probably be further away, honestly.
Just a different cardinal
You'll
direction.
be in the same time zone.
Yeah, I'll be in the same time zone. All right. Thanks again. Final Gravity Podcast out.
Peace.